Hi, superheroes. I'm Victoria Nate, coming to you from Purdue University College of Veterinary Medicine, League of VetaHumanz. Welcome to Season 2. I'll be your host on the VetaHumanz Live today. Today we have one following our journey with our VetaHuman in training, Ivannasaurus. So thank you for being on our show today.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. So kind of update us. What week are we going into and how is it going?
I think we just finished week 13, if I'm not mistaken. So that means we're going to be in week 14 starting Monday. So that's crazy. How's it going? Did you ask me that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's going. It's getting rough out here. I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot of exams, there's a lot of stuff to remember. There's OSCEs, there's orals. So there's a bunch of stuff that's just piling up.
Yeah, we're getting to the end of the semester, so everything, it's getting a little crazy.
Yes.
So kind of update us, how has your week's been going? Like what are some a few exams you've been doing, or just kind of what's been keeping you busy?
Just studying. Honestly, the past like 3 weeks has just been like studying. But the exams that we took this week were anatomy on Tuesday, and then today we took our physio exam for cardiovascular, I think, cardio physio. And last week, I believe we took our histology and something else. I don't even know. There's so many exams that we take that I just be like, okay, it's done. Move on to the next. Start studying for the next thing.
I mean, test by test, that means we're getting closer and closer to the end of the semester.
Yeah, little by
So kind of
little.
talking about studying and everything, you did make it your goal last month to kind of not do assignments the night before and stuff. So how has that been doing? Are you making sure you're kind of getting ahead of the deadlines, or?
I'm actually doing pretty good for assignments, like homework assignments and stuff like that. I've been pretty good about like making sure that they're turned in a couple days before the due date. So that way I can use like study time the day before the exam. Obviously, I want to try and get more like studying done before the night before. But yeah, I think assignment wise, I've been doing a lot better. So I'm very proud of myself for that.
Okay, that's great. Kind of getting those assignments in kind of makes it easier to kind of just get them out of the way, and then you can focus more on the studying for the big exams. So I
Yes.
know it's kind of been crazy with everything. So what would you say is your biggest challenge this past month, and like how have you overcome it?
It's well, I haven't overcame it, but my biggest challenge has been able to like go to the gym. I feel like a lot of my time has just been focused in like making sure that my studying is going well, that I haven't really been prioritizing that aspect, which I really miss and like want to do. So I think I'm gonna start. Thankfully, I got the parking pass for the garage. So that means I don't have to get to school early anymore for parking, to fight for parking. So I can start going to the gym again. I'm excited about
Yeah,
that.
that's good. You have a little bit more time now instead of trying to rush to kind of get some good parking. So especially with the code coming, so it definitely
Yeah,
helps.
my car's gonna be covered. That's so nice.
Well, I'm glad. I know that's probably something that you were very excited about.
hmm
So kind of with all the tests that were happening and everything, do you think your study strategies and everything have kind of stayed the same? Do you think they've kind of changed a little bit with all these new exams?
I think they've pretty much have stayed the same, except for like the fact that I actually started to rewatch lectures for this past physio exam. Normally like if I don't grasp something in the lecture, I don't attempt to rewatch it. I just try to like figure it out on my own or ask my peers for help to understand it better. But rewatching it for some professors, it's very beneficial. For others, I don't think it's, for me personally, works the best. But it has helped. Like I did that for the first two lectures for the physio exam that we just took. There was like I think a total of 6 lectures, and the first two I think I had a solid understanding of them because of rewatching the lectures. So that was cool. That's something new.
If it's working for you and you kind of like see which classes work best, then that's something you can start implementing in addition to what you're also doing. So kind of talking about some classes you love. I know you mentioned that VSAC was like one of the classes you really like. So like what has been something you've been, learning that you find interesting, and if it's still like a class that you really enjoy?
Well, thankfully, like we're kind of like towards the end of the semester, so VSAC has come to like a halt. I mean, we have our OSCE next week, on Tuesday, I think. And so there's just a bunch of like studying our, like reviewing our skills and stuff. And that's what the last 2 sessions for this week of ESEC have been, just review, which is really helpful. But before that, we had done some large animal handling, and I love working with large animals, so we were able to work with the horses and with the bovine, and I just like being around larger animals, so that always brings me joy just to be around them, and I enjoyed us applying what we're learning with the large animals. I wish we did a little bit more of larger animal stuff, but that's okay.
Okay, well, I'm glad. So kind of walk us through like what is like an OSCE kind of for our audience, like walk us through like how the test is and stuff.
I wouldn't be able to tell you what OSCE stands for, but what it is basically like our final exam for our VSAT class, which is, I think the acronym is Veterinary. Do you know what the acronym is? VSAT, Veterinary Skills and Competence,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
something like that. I'm not sure. But so that class, we learn a bunch of different skills, like veterinary skills, learning how to do like intramuscular injections, or learning how to halter a horse, or how to tie a knot around like a bovine knot, bowline knot. Both, what is it called?
Like a
Bowline?
halt, like a halt. Oh,
No, around the neck.
the line?
Bowline. Yeah. I don't know the names all that well, but I know how to do them. But so this OSCE is basically going to test our, like, how much we've retained from the skills that we learned over this entire semester. And it's kind of nerve-wracking because it's a lot of skills that we've learned. So for them to be able to just pull from whatever week until now, there's a lot of things to review.
Yeah, and I'm
But
sure it's a little scarier. That's not like a written test. It's more of a practical, practical.
yeah, I guess because you have like stations and stuff that you go up to, and you have somebody that's like evaluating you while you're doing it. So it's kind of weird, but it's cool.
Well, I'm glad. I know you kind of mentioned like the large animal labs that you've done, but has there been any like interesting labs that you've done so far, or like any involvement that you've found really interesting?
Um, I mean, it's not like pertaining to like school necessarily, but there's this. I'm a part of the equine club,
Hmm.
and about like 2 weeks ago, they did like a equine handling outside of campus. Um, on a Saturday, we were there from like 9 to 2. So it was long session, but it was so super cool because we were able to like lunge the horses, which is basically like when you stand in the middle, you have the lunge rope attached to the halter of the horse, and the horse is like running in circles around you and stuff like so. That's cool. I've never done that before. So that was like my first time, a hands-on experience in an environment where it wasn't like stressful. Because I think all my handling has happened in a school environment where there's a lot of eyes on you, making sure you're doing it right, and not a lot of room for error. But like there is room for error, but it's like try not to, like a lot harder. So, and this goes back to like my undergrad school, like even when I like worked with the horses on campus and stuff. So it was just cool because at least for my background, my undergrad was Cal Poly Pomona, and we had this like W.K. Kellogg Arabian Horse Center. And because the Arabian horses are such high value, we were very restricted in what we were allowed to do with the horses. So although I worked at a horse center for like 2 years, I didn't get to do a lot of hands-on like handling in the sense of like exercising the horses and stuff. I did a lot of grooming, and like teaching other students how to like put halters on and how to groom and stuff. But this was like the first time I was able to get hands-on experience with exercising horses. So that was really cool for me.
Well, that's exciting, especially I know how much you love large animals, so being able to get that experience that you love,
Yeah.
and it's really nice. So I'm glad that you got to be able to do that, and especially interact with the clubs you signed up
Yep.
for.
It was
So
fun.
kind of tell us. So what kind of has been like the most enjoyable part of either like school or academic or school or personal, like that you found the most enjoyable in the past month?
Um, Academic wise, I think my answer is always going to be the same. The fact that everybody else is struggling with me is like the best thing ever, because it's just like I know it sounds twisted and I know it sounds bad, but it really is, because it's just nice to know like that there's other people that, regardless of how smart I view them, like they also are like working just as hard to make sure that they're understanding the material. And sometimes they don't even understand the material, so it just makes me feel like not alone in the struggle of it all. But not academic wise, I feel like I don't really get to do much. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't really get to do much, but there's I did go to Indianapolis last weekend, and I went to the zoo, and I went to this, like, I forgot what the place was called, but it was like a food market area and a bunch of different foods that were sold, and I had this really good torta, And for people that don't know what torta is, it's just basically like a Hispanic sandwich, but it's super good. It's top tier. I don't know. And some sushi because I've been craving sushi, so it was cool. And I watched a movie, so I enjoyed myself that weekend, which I think was last weekend. So that was fun.
That's good. Kind of steer away from school and kind of get a break, especially doing some
Needed.
fun stuff, movies, zoo, and
Yeah.
everything. That's really fun. So, kind of talking about personal care and everything. I know you kind of been trying to make sure you kind of give yourself some time. But how's your sleeping? Your your eating and everything.
Eating, I think, has gone. I haven't meal prepped in a couple of weeks now, but I have had food because I've had like lunch and learns, and then I've had like leftover for dinner. So like I haven't really needed to meal prep, but I should be meal prepping because whenever I meal prep, I eat healthier. I eat better. So food wise, it's gone down a little bit. And then sleep wise has also gone down. But I just like it's really hard. It's really hard to get enough sleep when you're trying to keep up with everything and study wise and like school wise and personal life wise and life wise. Like there's just so much to do. But it's okay. The break is almost here. So I'm gonna catch up on all the sleep I need over this break.
Okay, just make sure you continue taking care of yourself, especially toward the end of the semester. I know how crazy and chaotic it can get. Talking about how crazy it is, what's like one thing you've been making sure you do for yourself since the last podcast?
What is something that I've done for myself since the
Mhm.
last podcast? I'm not too sure. I feel like me going out was like something for myself because I tend to be like cooped up inside with my dog all day. So being out, like not even just in West Lafayette or Lafayette area, but down in Indianapolis was something that I needed. I mean, like it was a whole day of not doing anything school related. I think that's a lot of personal care there.
Oh, good. And then, so kind of talking for next month. Do you have a certain goal that you want to set for next month?
Um, I think like since next month is already going to be like finals and stuff, I just want to be making sure that I'm gradually studying rather than like letting it pile up because I can prioritize exams based off of the like when the next exam is coming. So learning how to study all of the material that we've gone over little by little is going to be like a challenge for me because it's not something I'm used to doing, but it's definitely a goal of mine that I hope to accomplish.
Okay, I think with all the hard work you've been putting, I think it is possible. It's always possible as long as you put in the
Thank
work.
you.
Well, I'm glad. So, kind of, do you have any words of encouragement or inspiration for our audience?
Yeah, we're almost there, guys. We're almost there.
Yep, just a little bit. We'll be in winter break, and we kind of get to reset, pretty much.
Yes, yes.
I'm glad. I wanted to say thank you so much for being on the show. You can
Well,
learn
thank you
more
for
about
having
the
me.
other League of VetaHumanz superheroes at the VetaHumanz.org. If you liked this episode, please subscribe, rate, and share with your friends. And remember, use your powers for good.